How did Asmongold get banned? Jeez, that's pretty crazy, huh?
14 days? Yeah, I listen. I'm fine with him getting banned. I want uniform enforcement. Okay, that's all I want. Just if somebody's breaking the TOS, give us some indication that there is some enforcement. Did Destiny just hear that? Yeah, he did. He's a professional though. He moved on as if he didn't hear it.
I
What did you think of his statement overall? Did you
I have to listen to more because I don't want to like make unhinged statements. But like the problem is, why do you think people were mad about his statement?
there's two reasons. There's the inferior culture thing. They think he's saying like inferior race essentially about Arabs. They think that, which I think you can defend as like culture is a different thing. And then there's also the I don't care if they're getting genocided part, but he also defines what he means by genocide, and it's not what genocide means. And I think a lot of people just totally ignore the actual definition he gave for genocide, which is like systematic killing of a group of people, which applies to many things other than like genetic groups. And then they apply the actual definition of genocide and think he's saying, I'm totally cool with like systematically eliminating a specific ethnic group. And it's like,
Yeah,
well,
so I
that's not,
haven't. I'm
not
admitting
what he
I've only
said.
watched like clips, like seconds worth of, or I guess a couple minutes worth of clips. So it's possible
Yeah.
I'm missing something. I think that the genocide statement is a red herring, though. I think that the real thing that triggers people is that culture thing,
I will
which
just be
is
your pig.
is a big
Ruben
yeah,
donated
it sucks because
$5.
like I think
You're
that there's
not
a really
fooling
negative
anyone.
way
Wolf
that
scanned.
like
We knows
I'm
that
going to
you
sound
were
really
the
cringe, but like
Destiny
Western
host.
imperial cultures use that culture argument. However, I don't think Asmongold was necessarily there, although he could be. But the issue is that the other side seems to think that it's okay for them to use the same kind of argument because like are we going to say, like, here's a question. If you were to ask them, oh, okay, well, let's say that we compare the culture of Norway to the culture of the United States of America in 1790 when women couldn't vote and we had black slaves. Would you say that neither culture is better than the other? There is no shot that they would say, oh, I would never say one culture is better than the other.
Well, I
Right?
mean, I think that's obviously true, and I think you can look at their literal responses to Israel Palestine. A bunch of them, I can't name people because I don't remember the clips, but on October 7th, a whole bunch of people were like, "Well, what am I supposed to feel bad that some Israelis got hurt because they're oppressing Palestinians?" Right? That's the same thing, implying that like the Israelis are doing something negative that is inviting that attack on them. Right? I think like so in terms of the not caring about people being hurt by terrorist attacks, hurt by like a genocidal intent. I think they've expressed the same sentiment like multiple times. But again, to your point with regards to Norway, yeah, obviously they'd say any culture that owns black slaves is an inferior culture.
Yeah, so they would say Norwegian culture is superior to American slave owning culture. But if you were to ask them, is Norwegian culture superior to the Ottoman Empire's culture? They won't answer that. Or to modern
Whoa,
day.
different cultures like value different things. Destiny. Whoa,
Yeah. And the
whoa.
thing is it's true. If you're talking about one culture being better than the other, you should say with respect to what? Because it really doesn't make sense to say it's just better, right? Like
He
I
did
bet
say
like
with respect to something. He said respect to everything. He said literally in every possible facet better.
wait, did he say that?
He did.
Okay, I heard him say the Sharia law thing over and over again. I didn't hear the every facet. So if he did, that's kind of a dumb statement for sure. But not as extreme as people I think make it out to be. I don't know. When I was listening to it, I was waiting for like the radical crazy like genocide all of them, but I didn't hear that. It sounded like the gist of what he was saying was which is like
He was Sam Harris
unintentionally.
posting.
Well,
But go
yeah,
ahead.
and I don't even know if he realizes like the type of statement he made, but what he's really saying is that like, well, if there is a culture and if built into their culture, they've got this concept of like domination of the is it the Umar? Is that non-Muslims? I forget, whatever the Umar and the whatever. But if it's like the domination of like these non-religious people, you know, and then they get blown up, well, fuck it. Like I don't feel bad for them. If their culture is centered around domination, then I wouldn't feel bad if they got blown up. Which in and of itself is not really an incorrect or even bad statement. You probably just need to qualify it more. And it takes like, there's a lot of attention to detail when making arguments like this because you can get swept up in the like, oh, everything white and Western is just better in every single way than all the Arab stuff, which is retarded. But
Yeah. Do you have a minute? Do you want to just listen to it again? Because I can play the clip for you if you haven't heard the minute 15 seconds. I do think
yeah, if you want to,
I
sure.
went back and listened a little bit. We can listen to it again. But I think what he's referring to in terms of built into the culture and built into Sharia, I think he's talking about the death penalty for homosexuality.
Is
Which
he?
like
I thought he was. I would have imagined it would have been the
I
conquering
know
aspect, but I don't even know how much
there
he
are a
Aslan
whole
knows
bunch
about any of
of
this shit. So.
Yeah, there are a whole bunch of other things that would possibly make sense here, but like, because the other thing that would make sense is if he's talking about Hamas, then he could be talking about their charter, right, having a genocidal intent towards Jews, but I don't think he is. So anyway, we can listen to it again and just listen explicitly to the genocide definition he gives, which is like really, really kind of insanely broad.
Want to consider a genocide as a system.
Oh wait, no, you're in the presentation, right?
No, I'm not. Hold on, let me click that. One sec.
Yeah, hop in.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question.
Ooh.
It's crazy that people don't see it that way.
Yeah.
They'd be doing the same thing.
Ooh.
Which, like, there to me, it's like he is also kind of describing it's like these two groups are basically like at each other's throat down to the last person. And of course, I just don't feel that bad when like one of those groups is losing. It's like they've had plenty of chances to. I feel like that's a general idea of what he's going for.
So yeah, so Asmon's statement is overly broad here and pretty stupid. But one of the big issues is like the thing that's so fucking frustrating is all of the white people on Twitch, like Hasan Piker, okay, constantly conflate all of Islam with Houthis and Hezbollah and Hamas. That's like the big issue, right? So if you are Asmongold, if you're a normie, and then you look at like all the pro-Palestinian people, and then you see, oh, well, they all also support like radical Islamist, fundamentalist orgs. I guess maybe that's just all of Islam, and that's all the Arab world. I can understand why people get confused because you never have people out here like Hasan delineating between. Well, I mean, fuck delineating. He's literally showing, fucking music video propaganda to his random fucking friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, so it's not really even surprising that, It reminds me of when like conservatives a long time ago used to say like, oh, we're not doing that. That's socialism. You're like, no, that's social spending. It's not socialism. And then all of a sudden, like nowadays, like progressives are like, yeah, we need like social spending. That's socialism. Like, wait a second. Why are we using their definition? Like, I feel like people like Hasan are playing into that environment. Well, actually, all good Arabs and Muslims are going to support Hamas and all these people because they're resistance freedom fighters. Ignoring the fact that if you want to kill Arabs, these are the people that you should love the most because nobody kills Arabs like other Arabs do. If you look at the Syrian civil war, you look at what happened in Yemen, like you look at all the, like it's Jesus.
He's saying that as well. Also, the thing that like upset me about this, I was talking to Slasher earlier about this a little bit. The thing that upsets me is like, I'm pretty sure, especially after Asmongold, he goes and talks to Hasan for 3 hours after this. I'm very certain that Asmongold doesn't want innocent people killed. Like, he made it very clear multiple times. No, I'm not cool with children getting killed. Wait, yeah, that was probably broad. Yeah, oh, maybe I spoke too like harshly, too generally, right? He doesn't want those. But Hasan legitimately, and there is no concern, Hasan really does support the Houthis. He really does support terrorists kidnapping those 25 people off the Galaxy Leader and keeping them hostage for a year. He supports it outright. He's happy
he thought it was fucking hilarious. It was funny as fuck.
So like, it's like Asmongold's accidentally speaking here 2-week ban because he was retarded basically. And when Hasan genuinely supports, which by the way is against the TOS, when he genuinely supports terrorists, no, there's no evidence that he's had even a talking to.
Yeah, which is all the more evidence by the fact that it's like when Hasan tries to, he'll bring up me or he'll say things like, oh, like Destiny had Nick Fuentes on, so I should be able to have the Houthi guy on. And it's like, nobody is mad at you for having the guy on. They're mad at you because you agree with every single thing that he fucking says. Right? And he does this over and over again where he conflates like why people are upset over a thing. And it's like, bro, you actually support this. This isn't about platforming. This is about endorsing, right? Like this guy is telling you that they drugged the people that I'm pretty sure are still being held hostage. And he's like laughing about it and you're laughing along. That's crazy. That's like airstrike worthy, like crazy fucking statements to be making. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? It's because he's got no attachment to anybody. He's just a white suburban fucking Hollywood kid. He doesn't give a fuck at the end of the day about any of the people involved.
No, but he didn't like. It's bad enough that he watched it the first time, was like, oh, isn't this fucking cool? But he thought it was so awesome that he had to pull it out and show it to NMP LOL and go like, bro, look at how awesome this is. And NMP's sitting there not knowing what it is. And he's like, oh man, this is like Rust. And it's like, bro, you're about to watch 25 people get kidnapped and possibly never make it home to their families. That's literally, you're watching them be held at gunpoint. They walk in with AK-47s and have AK-47s and they see this, like on these civilians.
Oh yeah, because Hasan was showing the takeover of the ships. He's like, "Oh yeah, dude."
Yes.
Oh, and Hasan. By the way, I don't know if you caught this or not, because it's a very common lie that they tell. Hasan was doing that whole like, "Oh no, they only go after the Israeli ships."
Yeah, which the Houthis do not have the technology. They barely have like walkie-talkies.
the
They don't have the
fuck is in
technology
those
to know who anyone is. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not just targeting Israeli trade or things going to Israel. They're targeting fucking everything. Hasan is supporting terrorism, right? He's on stream.
Objectively,
saying, like,
yes.
I support these. It's funny. They're blocking this. Like, that's supporting terrorism. God, it's so cringe.
It's the world we live in. It's the world Dan Clancy wants, to use the meme, okay?
Unironically, though.
I don't understand. Yeah. I just feel like, and they're lucky, I guess they're lucky, that a lot of mainstream publications haven't picked it up. But I feel like it's only a matter of time. Like, you just keep letting it happen. They're going to continue to do it. You're eventually going to get caught.
That these editors and these editing rooms and everything are all, like, very left. So it would take something really, really, really dramatic for them to give a fuck. That's the issue.
You don't say. Hold on. We need to pull this Alyssa Mercante album back up. Where is it here?
She DM'd me like 30 seconds after after I posted that, and then she kept blocking me and unblocking me. So I kept editing my comment to like re-add her because it apparently that unasked you, and then she perma-blocked me.
It is what it is. Bro, did you see the video that I posted? By the way, have you seen this?
I haven't watched fucking anything. My day's been shit.
Oh, this is so good. So she went to TwitchCon explicitly to meet Hasan. If you go to the bottom of that album, there's a whole bunch of tweets in that album about her going. She had an interview with Hasan. Hasan, I feel like, probably got this okayed through somebody else. I'm making this up, by the way. This isn't confirmed. But he must have gotten this interview confirmed through somebody else. I think he knew who she was, and they canceled this interview. And he said, oh, we have a very busy schedule. Except if you watch further in the VOD, they had no schedule. They're like, let's go surprise like Ludwig or something across the TwitchCon. I think he's super creeped out by this person. And watching their only interaction is like, he basically had canceled and he was standing there and she walks over to say something to him. And watching their only interaction was amazing. All right, I'll just play the clip.
So, I'm sorry for not...
I was going to pick your brain about gamers and politics, but...
Yeah, we can do it another time.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Good luck.
Perfect.
You are tall. He's a tall guy.
Let's
and he's
do,
like, no, he
yeah.
grimaces. No, run that back. Look at this guy's face as he turns back.
Yeah,
He grimaces.
we can do it another time.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Good luck.
Perfect.
You are tall. He's a tall guy.
Jesus Christ.
That's rare that you see the woman making those comments and walking away and the man feeling that uncomfortable, okay? She's doing a lot for female empowerment in this clip, okay? She's sexually harassing this very popular, attractive celebrity. Very interesting. But yeah, they tell her like, yeah, we ran out of time here. We actually accidentally double booked. But around this whole thing, they're actually talking in the VOD about how they don't have plans. What are we gonna do? Should we go surprise Ludwig? So they just canceled this to like walk away.
Pretty cringe.
Incredibly cringe. Incredibly funny. But yeah, that's I feel like that's the average person who covers Hasan.
Yeah, it's not
that is
surprising,
like the average person who covers Hasan. That's why he gets no criticism.
I mean, that and he's like, he's very careful about selecting the platforms that he goes on too, right?
Oh, sure, yeah, he's very careful to avoid
like he's
criticism
only
and
going on
stuff.
platforms where the editors are like that towards him, you know?